first episode. I am Taisha. If you do not know me, I am a mother of five. I have worn the title of mother for 20 years, and now I am on the journey of figuring out who I am as a woman.
And hi, I'm Monique. If you don't know me, I have three teenagers, about to be empty nester here in about a year or so, and just trying to figure the whole thing out with dating, with my kids being gone, with just trying to figure me out. Like she said, we're just trying to figure it out. We don't have all the answers, but I mean, things that we do, we've known someone or we've gone through them ourselves. So this is just get to know each other and talk about all kinds of things. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you just don't.
Well, hello, Monique. This podcast is catered to single mothers who are on their journey of love. Either you have had love, you've lost love, or you are still in search of love with kids.
We know how that can be.
You want to go ahead and take it?
We are going to be talking about our episode for today is the audacity of dating with kids in the house. Don't touch my snacks or my peace.
Today, we're talking about the realities of dating as single moms with little humans always underfoot and no babysitter in sight. So, who's watching the kids?
Well, my kids, they watching themselves. So I make it clear, like my kids are old enough to be at home by themselves, so I'm good. What about you? Because you have two little ones at home.
I have a 12-year-old at home. I have a 7-year. Well, she'll be 7 on Wednesday. Happy birthday, Raina. Um,
Mhm.
she she want to know everything, but it's hard dating with kids at home, mainly because it's not even the babysitter situation. For me, I think it's just the energy, just to think about having to take on a full-time job, raise your children by myself, right? And then take on a relationship which requires so much of your energy, your time, your consideration, being, selfless and pouring into somebody else and sharing your space and all of those things. Like, if you think about it, relationships are a baby all in itself. Like, you have to nurture it in order for it to grow. And like, it takes up a lot of time. So I'm from an era where we want to just pop things in the microwave and let shit happen real fast, but you got to put forth the effort in order to make some stuff work. We don't like that.
And nothing is wrong with that. I think that people do what works for them. Um, with my situation, like I said, my kids are older. It's more easier for me to go out and hang out or be gone a long time or even, stay overnight for that matter. But but it is when you have little kids and no help, it is tough because with my kids, when they were little, my kid's father is deceased, so I have my kids. So it's kind of like, finding a babysitter, but I don't believe I dated that much when my kids were younger. So it was okay because I didn't really do a whole lot of dating just because the fact that I had my kids and going to them coming to my house was not an option. So it was
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. Yeah,
yeah,
there's no meeting the kids no time soon, so it's not that hard because it's not that much of a focus when you have kids at home, which kind of sucks because I miss like the companionship and I miss to have, somebody hold me at night. But when your
right.
kids is here, it's like I just don't want a strange person around my children.
Right, agree, because you don't know what you don't know what their lifestyle is about. And like with me now, I I'm gonna go to your house still because I still don't want them to come to my house. So
Mhm.
if I'm dating someone, he has his own place. So I would feel more comfortable going to his house versus him coming to my house because my kids are teenagers, they're here. I have daughters that are 17, so it's kind of like I'd rather go to your house than to him come to my house.
Mm.
It's just better anyway.
And I think that's where mine is different because my kids are younger. It's like I'm not going to nobody's house because I fear that I'm gonna die as soon as I get there. So it's like I gotta make it back to my kids. So no,
I mean,
we're
are you
meeting up in a
gonna
public
die? Like
place.
they're gonna kill you, die, or what
Yeah,
you?
I mean,
Okay, okay, I got you.
even like with us being single mothers and not really having the time today, but we're still trying to make the effort today. Our only options is the internet, right? Like you're downloading apps or you're meeting people on Facebook and things like
That's
that.
true.
And it's like there are actual serial killers out here who are,
It is.
yeah, like that's the quickest way for them to get the women that they're looking for.
And you know what? Funny story. So it was this guy.
Hold on,
He
there's a
lived
funny
in.
story about a serial killer.
No, 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 no. It was a
Oh,
funny story about me going to somebody's house.
okay.
So, we talked on the phone for like a couple of days, and he was a Caucasian man, and he was like, I live like in this area, so I'm like, oh, he's just literally 2 minutes away, probably not even
Hmm.
2 minutes. I was like, okay. And normally I'll text my cousins and like, hey, this is where I'm going, but they have my location. But in this instance, it was just like it was on a Friday night, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing anything. He said he's gonna pop some pizza in a microwave, you know, and just whatever. I get to his house, and let me tell you,
Hmm.
beautiful home. He said in the house is across the street, really nice. So he was like, I'll show you around. I was like, okay, we go upstairs, and then that was fine. Then he gonna say, you want to see my basement?
See,
I
that's what
went
I'm
I
talking
went to
about.
his basement, and I watch crime shows. I literally went to this man's basement. He literally could have knocked me over the head and been
Girl,
like,
he could have did that the
okay,
moment you walked through the door.
yeah, because and then I was like, I went to his basement. I'm like, Monique, you watch stuff. Why would you go to his basement? And I was like, okay. And then I lived, of course. We came back upstairs.
Thank
Then
God.
he turned off all the lights. I was like, wait a minute. I said, no. I said,
For
you know what?
what?
It's time for me to go. I don't know what he thought was going on because we never talked about that. I never presented myself to him like that. I guess me coming over there, but he said he was gonna put a piece in the oven and we was watching
And
movies.
Monique, you stayed
But
after this man didn't ask you to go to the
no, I
basement until.
left. No, no, no. I left when he turned. Like I was like, it's time for me to go. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. But I blocked him when I got in my car. I didn't. I was like, and the first thing I did, I called my cousins. And of course, this was like 4 years ago. And the first thing I did, I called my cousin. I said, I went to this man's house and I went in his basement. He said, come check out my basement. That's the number one thing. They say, come and look at your basement. And then I go to the basement. Like, come on. Nick went to the
You
basement.
are like the white people in the scary movies. You're like, oh, danger,
I
let's
am.
go see about it.
I would die literally. Cause yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
you wouldn't die
Mm-hmm.
first because all the black people die first. You
I
would get
wouldn't die.
first a little
I
bit.
mean, I would be one of the. I would be technically the white girl, but
Yeah.
that went. I was like, I said, I can't believe I went in his basement. Like, are you
What month was
kidding
this? Was
me?
this February? This better not have
I
happened on
know it
Black
was.
History Month.
I know it was cold, but I don't remember when it
It
was.
could have
It
been
was cold
February.
out.
You went over to this white
I
man's
was
house,
lucky, huh?
Black History Month, and you was about to take your black ass in the basement.
I was, and the reason why I stopped talking to him because now I didn't like that he used the N word, which he didn't call me one, but he said the N word, and then he said Jesus is his fucking homeboy. I was like, oh
Well,
my
Jesus
god!
is
I was
my
like,
fucking
that
homeboy.
fucking part is weird to me. Like, no, but the N word is what really, he was like, he hang out with his niggas friends, and I'm like, okay, I don't like that.
Did he say this before he invited you over?
No, he said it like within the time. No, because if he would have said that before I came over there, I would not have went over there.
Okay.
He said it all within the conversation when we were there. When I was there, I was like, oh yeah. I was like,
So
absolutely
he
not.
said the N word when you was there and
Yeah,
invited you to the basement, and you were
to the
like,
basement. Yeah. So he said that after I went to the basement. And then we sat on the couch and talked. And then that's when he turned off all the lights. And I was like, wait a minute. This is getting a little weird.
"Well, I
And
tell
yeah,
you
that was
what,
it.
you have a calling on your life, and you are blessed and
I
highly favored
do.
to be here."
I absolutely do. I absolutely do
Jesus
because
does
that was
not
wild.
play about you, and I know he got to be your
Mm-mm.
fucking homeboy because you are still here.
He is my homeboy. He is because yeah, because that could have went a whole new direct. That could have went totally different. That's what I'm saying. Like, ladies, do not go in a man's basement. If he offer you to go to his basement,
You
don't
gotta
go in his
tell
basement.
nobody who's
I
watching
did.
this.
Hey, you probably got somebody like me that wasn't even thinking. Like,
There's
and
only
then
one
like,
Monique.
well, it's probably somebody that would be like, damn, I went in his basement too. If you went in somebody's basement on their first meeting, let us know and just
Yeah, I
tell
went
your
in his
story,
basement
how you
too.
felt about it.
That's so horrible. I cannot.
Well, do you have any dating stories? Any?
Not yet. Let's keep talking.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm not gonna spill all my horrible dating stories because I do have some, quite a few of
I
them.
don't know.
But
I have not toured the basement of any white man.
that was one time I only did that. It was only one
All it
time.
takes is one time, Monique.
It was one time. It was one time, and I learned my lesson.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're still here, friend.
I'm glad I'm here too, because
Do
that
you
could, and
have
I mean, because that would have just been my fault.
accountability? Come on.
Right, it would have been my fault because I knew better. I knew better not to go with somebody's basement. I knew better.
Obviously, you did not know better at first
when
because you
you
went.
when you know better, you do better, right? So now that I
That's what
know
they
better, I
say.
would do. Now that I know better, I do better next time. I'm not going to nobody's basement.
That's good to know. I'm proud of you. Do you ever
Thank
have
you.
mommy guilt when you go out?
When my kids were younger, I did. Because when you have to find a babysitter, depending on what you're doing, I did because it's kind of like I can be with my kids instead of being out on a date. But I didn't date that much when they were younger. So
Mine's ain't like that. Mine's is more so if I go on a date and I'm eating this steak, I'd be like, damn, my kids at home eating noodles. Right
well,
there.
I but see, you don't cook though. I mean, you're not a cooker, so I did
I
cook.
hold on, let's pause. I don't like to cook. I am not a chef, but I do make edible meals to
Right.
keep you alive.
Right. So I always cook, so I didn't feel that way when I went out because I made sure that they have food or I cooked dinner or I even still do that shit now. And they are 17 and 18.
Yeah,
I
no,
still
I
make
feel
sure I'm cooking them something before I go. So yeah, I just always been that person. But
you're very
I don't
nurturing. I'll give you that. I love that about you.
yeah, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
think I am too, but again, it goes back to I know you've been on your healing journey, and I think it's a good thing because you need that. You need that, and you set boundaries with people, and you even have to set boundary with your kids, and that's what I'm doing now.
A
I'm
hundred
setting
percent.
boundaries with them, especially
Yes.
the older that they are. You have to set boundaries with them because if you don't set boundaries with them, they're just gonna do whatever and cross those boundaries. Even when it comes to dating, like, hey, I'm dating. Like, no, because even, they don't really say too much about, my dating or when I'm talking to people. They really don't care. Like, they never be like, like if I'm dating someone, a guy, they'll ask like, what do your kids think about it? I'm like, well, my kids, they really don't care. They just like as long
That's
as
how my
he's
older girls are too.
nice. Yeah, they like as long as he's nice, and they do ask, do he got kids? How many kids he got? That's what they ask.
Mm.
So now, since my kids are older, I'm on the fence of if I want someone with younger kids too, or do I just want to date someone who has older kids or kids that's semi older? When I say semi older, like your son is 11. So it's kind of like, do I
12,
want
you
to take
better
on that
big
responsibility?
one too.
12. Okay, he's 12, sorry. So, and it's kind of like, do I want it? Because my idea is I want to wake up on a Saturday with my man. We wake up, go to the city market, go have breakfast, go to the grocery store, go have lunch, come home, cook dinner together, and relax and don't have to worry about kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if he has little kids, of course he's co-parenting with his kids. So it's kind of like this weekend we got the kids. which don't get me wrong, I have nothing against kids, but it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, damn, my kids is I don't have my kids. They're
I
grown.
can see that
So,
because your kids are older. Like for me,
right,
like I wouldn't mind him having younger kids because the kids can keep each other occupied while we figure it out.
right. And then another thing is when it comes to having younger kids, and let's say I'll say you got adolescents, and that's the like 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 five, right?
Don't ask me questions.
Okay,
Like,
so let's say you got the younger kids that's under
yeah,
under 10.
yeah.
But it is also you got to make sure you get along with the kid's mom. And it's just
No,
too
the
much.
fuck you
Like I don't
don't.
want to deal with that.
No, 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 no,
I
no, no,
think
no.
you do. You don't think you have to get along with the kid's mom?
You have to respect her and you have to respect her children. You have to
Right.
understand your role and where you are in that relationship. And don't cross any lines or boundaries. But y'all don't have to get along at all. I don't agree with that.
Well, I've never people I've dated, I've never not gotten along with their kid's mom. Never not like
But
gotten
that's your
along with the kid's
personality. Like
mom.
you get along with anybody until they give you a reason not to. And that's a
Exactly. So I
great
think that's
quality.
where yeah. So when I say get along, like I don't want, because I know some people can have their kids just being rude, and it's not even the kid, it's their parent. So that's what I mean by that. And then I never been put in a situation where, and I've seen it where, oh, if you're dating her, you can't see your kid. Of course, I don't want a man to have to pick between me and his kid. And it's kind of rude. That's what I mean by that. So it's kind of like, a woman that throws her kids in the man's face because he didn't moved on. I mean,
I got you.
I didn't experience like and I'm a cool person to get along with, like you said. And a relationship that I was in, unfortunately he lied about some things and I got put in it, I was aired out that I messed with married men and all this, and once something is on social media, that stays with you. So it's kind of like, but she was like, I didn't mean to do that to you. I just did it to get back at him. But no, you didn't because you did it to me. You didn't
So
do that to him. You did it to me.
for the listeners, I want you to clear that up right now so nobody takes anything away from what you just said and turn it into something that it's not. I want you to uh, be careful. Well, not be careful, but I want you to clear the air because it's
Like
a
I don't mess with
reputation thing.
married men. Let's just
Yeah.
put that out there. I don't mess with married men. And like I said, he lied, but that's the thing. And like she said, I'm sorry because I did that, but your sorry really doesn't mean anything because you already put it on social media. And now people look at me no matter how much you say you didn't. I mean, he was still married, but I didn't know that they had been separated for a really long time. So I didn't know. So that still sticks with me with people. It's kind of like the man never get in trouble. It's always the woman that they look down on. But I didn't know. So ladies, you gotta be mindful that maybe the woman didn't know. And once she knew, like once I found out, because once you didn't tip truthful with me, I ended that relationship because you embarrassed me.
He
I
knows
have
his
kids.
situation from jump. When he
Right.
met you, when he got your
Right.
number, when he tried to talk to you, he knew he was married, right? But also pertaining to like kids, your kids are older now and they use the internet.
Mhm.
That could potentially be something that pops up out of nowhere one day.
Right. And with
So
your work, you work, you got family. Like I was literally crying because I'm like, why would somebody do that to me? Like that's never happened to me before. And people don't know that affects people. Like, you on everybody's on the internet. Everybody. Everybody. And it's just be mindful of the things that you say about people. Like some people don't know, it's not okay to do. So
let's
yeah.
see where we were. So how do men react when they find out you have kids? And just like both of us, we have multiple, not only multiple as far as more than one, but we both have twins. So like,
Right.
what are your twins? Your older kids?
No, my son
Okay.
is.
Okay, so your son's older. My twins are the oldest.
Mhm.
So when a man tries to approach you and y'all are talking, getting to know each other, how soon does the kid conversation come up? Is it immediately? And then when you tell them, like, how do they react to how many kids you have?
I tell them immediately, like, I have three kids, and but their first response is, do they have the same father? I'm like, well, how my kids are? Yeah, they have the same father. Yeah, of course they have the same father. My kids are
Unfortunately,
back to back.
that's the question they ask.
And so I'm
Like that
like,
matters.
yeah, but I think when my kids were younger, because I dated older men, I think that it's hard. It's more harder when you have younger kids and you tell them like the situation of the father, like he's deceased, and they automatically think that I'm looking for someone to take care of my kids. Like, no, I I'm looking for someone, not my kids. Like, no, and I think it's harder. I think it's harder when your kids are younger because the men they see that when you say, "Oh, my kids are 7 and 8," they like, and especially if they have kids too that age, they're like, "Wait a minute." But also, if they have older kids, they're like, "I don't want to take on this." So it's kind of like it's a hard thing. Like I've dated somebody that don't have kids, and I made it clear I don't want any more kids. And we dated, and then he's like, "Oh well, I want kids now." Like, but you knew that I didn't have kids, so why would you want kids if you knew that I if you knew that I didn't have that I couldn't have no more kids.
Hmm. Well, my
So
situation is much like yours too, in regards to having kids and their parent being deceased. My older girls,
mhm.
their dad is deceased, and then my younger kids, their dad is just dead to me. So it's the same thing. But it's like that doesn't matter. And the reason why I said earlier it doesn't matter, like when they ask that question of how many kids or how many daddies do you got for your kids, they'll say something to you about having two fathers, and they got
Mhm.
five baby mamas. And they look at
Right.
me like, well, since I don't get my kids or she won't let me see my kids, then it's okay. But how dare you have more than one? And my kids,
Right.
they both came out of like long-term relationships. My oldest kids, I was with their dad for 7.5 years. And my youngest kids, I was with their dad for 8.5. I married him, unfortunately. But yeah, so they don't want to hear the backstory when it comes to the kids because we all have a past, but once they meet you, you're supposed to
Right.
see them healed and perfect and flawless and pure. So yeah, I find that very interesting. But my reaction when they ask me how many kids I have and I say five, it's like they were like, well, damn. But my response to that though is like if me, little 4'11", if I'm holding it down 10 toes down, taking care of all five by myself, I don't get government assistance. I work for mine. And you're like, damn, I can't contribute to that. You're
Right.
a bitch and I don't want you. Like, if I can do it all by myself,
I
and
agree.
you're scared about coming in and adding your little couple of dollars to the situation, that you're not
Right,
somebody
because
to
that's
me
what it is.
anyway.
Right.
Because I
Right.
never
And
said I
that's
was
the
looking for
thing.
fathers for my kids. I'm mama and daddy
Right.
on everything.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. It's kind of like, you know, it's like they can't accept what we have, but we supposed to accept what you have.
Do you
Like I'm
know
not
that
dealing
we
with
do
somebody
accept
that
what they
have
have though?
right, right. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with nobody that have like more than and depend like you said, if it's long term, like long term. I'm not dealing if you got five kids, this a man came to me, he has five kids. If you got like more than three baby mamas, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm
I
not.
feel that.
But it depends on how old your kids are too.
I'm a tit for tat. Like if you're coming with what I have, then I can deal with that. If you come in with more baggage and shit than I got, I'm not. I don't. That's my right. I don't have to deal with that. Just like if I
Right. And
have
we
more
don't.
baggage that you're willing to take on, that's your right to say, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that, and I'm cool with that. Please weed yourself out. That's less work that I
Right.
can put in.
Exactly. And that's just and I don't see anything wrong with that because it's kind of like if I'm getting to know you, I want to get to know you. I'm not, then we cross that line with the kids. Like, okay, we're cool with what you got, you cool with what I got, and let's just see what happens. And I'm fine with that.
Okay, moving on.
Oh
You got
my
number
God.
two.
This is fun. I mean, this is fun, and
It's
honestly,
traumatizing.
Yeah, but I'm, with this, we're not like just any normal podcast. You're gonna get funny, you're gonna get whatever, and we're not trying to be like nobody else. Just
I'm gonna
put that
cry
out
in a
there.
minute. I'm not gonna be able to tell you why.
Right.
That's how
You
my
know
healing
what?
journey
Yeah.
is going.
So, I mean, and this is just something that we're doing, you can be on the journey with us and or not. I mean, it is what it is. We
Totally
just
don't
have our
know.
wine, our cups, and we're just talking about dating with kids, without kids, when kids are grown, when kids are little. Now, hold on, quick question. Would you date someone that has like a newborn, like a 1 year old?
Fuck no. Why? Why? Because that means no. No. No.
What? Y'all just let me choke on my wine. Like, no, I mean,
That's
no,
really
I
real.
get it. I get it. Now, okay, and let me, and I'm not bashing this woman. Kendra, have you seen her stuff? The lady Kendra.
Who's the lady Kendra?
Okay, so she has this dating app, but she's on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
followed her on I follow her on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, I'm trying to be polite about it. Um, I probably would never download her dating app. And the only reason why is because have you seen the men that's been on there?
I've seen a few. Yeah. I've
And
seen the
for
women too. It's
one,
it's not attractive.
yeah, but you know what? But I will say what kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was a whole thing on there. It was a lot of black women, and they was like, "How many kids do you have?" Some of them say seven, some of them say six, some of them say four. How many kids, father, you have? They be like, "Oh, I have 7 or 6." To me, that's disrespectful to the black woman. I don't give if she could choose how many kids fathers that she want to have. If she's not asking nobody to take care of her kids,
Oh
then
yeah.
why does it matter how many kids fathers that
That's
she
why I
has?
said it don't.
I am so sick of people, you know, I've seen something and man was like, well, you don't want to date, he has his preference on what he wanted to date. And I wish I would have shared it with you on Facebook. He was like, he was a black man. He said, I don't want to date a black woman. And then I'm thinking like, okay. And his reason being, he said, because they complain. They're always begging for something. I'm thinking to myself, Negro, what do you mean? I am literally so sick of that narrative. Either we're mad, we're angry, or either we're asking you for something or we're begging for something. Like you pick and choose which one we doing because we're doing both. But it's kind of like I think black women, as in when it comes to dating, like I always say, let's go to coffee for a first date, just because men be like, I don't want to spend no money on you. I haven't ran across somebody that was like that. I haven't ran across a black man that was like that. They've
Hold
always
on. I
taken
wanna
me
I
to
wanna
different
say something
places.
to your point before you finish because I don't
Mhm.
want to miss it. A black man saying that he does not want to date a black woman because she complains. Um, do you realize that anytime we are uplifting, encouraging, and trying to keep our black men out of jail, they have nothing bad to say about that. But the moment we want them to do better for themselves, that's when we're complaining.
And
So when
making
we are
boundaries and
holding a
setting
man,
boundaries.
yes, when we are setting boundaries and we are holding a man accountable for his own actions, that's when we are complaining. Women don't wake up and be like, "Hey, fuck nigga, I got time today." No, we
Hmm.
wake up and we are moving according to how you are leading this relationship. You have laid the foundation and created the environment for us to come in and thrive and be who we are together. And if it's not going the way that you see that it should go, you are the person who's leading this relationship. It's not on the woman to fix that shit because when we do go in and we have our our concerns and we're asking questions and we're pouring into our man and telling him how he can be better, then it's complaining, it's nagging. But if we were to just, this is something that I learned. When a man tells you, I want a woman to be my peace, do you know what that really means? And I don't care what no man say, because I've
Hmm.
learned over the years, over what I've seen, over what I've heard, friends, relationships on TV, not on hell in the church. When a man says, I need a woman who's going to be my peace, he really means, I want a woman who's going to accept me as I am, bullshit and all, and not say anything about it. So when we're nagging and complaining, it's because we see the potential, unfortunately, because that's a woman thing. We see the potential in our man. We stand beside him. We go through the bullshit, but we try to get him back on track. And that's when we're complaining and nagging. You don't want a woman to
Mhm.
be your peace. You want a woman to be your place where you can come and do whatever the fuck you want to do and she still got your back. That's all.
Mhm.
That's my
And I
take.
think that's for, and I hate when they say just black women. I just think for any strong woman, no matter if she's black, white, Mexican, Hispanic, I think that it shouldn't be just like black women because I'm not going to take away from, we do have strong white women that's out there. We do have strong Hispanic women that's out there.
But it's a
But
cultural thing. And I'm sorry to cut
yeah,
you
it
off.
is a cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing because white families don't have big mama. We got big mama. Big mama's gonna come in and make sure everything is straight. Big mama is holding down the house and the family. She's keeping everybody together. So that's why it's a us thing. It's a cultural thing. They don't say white women are complaining.
Right. I agree, but for me, I don't want it to be like I'm just one sided. But I get it. That's why I said black women, we, they put us in this box and then it's not fair. And it's kind of like, what
The
do you want
box
me to
they
do?
fucking built. Oh, this pisses me off. Keep going.
But it's kind of like, it's just not fair, when you say, like, I went on a date with someone and it was a cool little date. And the fact that when I said, is your son's mixed race? And he said, yes, his only two sons that he has. And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, you're a black man and you choose to have kids with a Caucasian woman, but you want to date a black woman. To me, I feel like I'm not your type or I'm not someone you want to date because you already dated two. And he said that you're the only black woman that did not turn your nose up when I said yes. I said, well, for one, I'm not going to turn my nose up because that's your preference. But I am going to side eye you like, what can I do for you? Because you have kids by two Caucasian women and you want to be with a black woman, mm, that's why I choose not to continue to talk to him because I you using me as an experiment because even though you're a black man, but you chose to have kids with two Caucasian women, and to me, I'm not what you want, so I can't do anything for you.
Listen, that milk of magnesia can only go so far.
Whoa. Oh my God. This
And
wine
this
is
is
kicking
not
in
a
because
race thing. Listen,
no,
I
my
love
words are
everybody.
slurring because oh yeah, of course.
I love
Hell,
everybody.
you look like you white. So come on.
I am Filipino and Hawaiian and black. Thank you. But
You're white.
no,
I
said you.
mean, I'm black and Armenian like the Kardashians. So go ahead.
Don't start any goddamn keeping
That's
up
that
with the
wine.
Monique. Um,
That's that wine.
girl. No, I want to make it very clear. I am not a racist and I don't care interracial dating. Do y'all thing, whatever.
Oh
Do
yeah,
I
I love interracial dating. You love who you love.
yeah, they love who they love. I'm not gonna mess with a white man or any other that's my own preference. But
And I don't mind.
to that point, like I wouldn't go to a white man and be like, you know, you're the only white man who didn't turn their nose up to me or ask me about how many baby daddies I got. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
that's
what he
a turn
said.
off.
Yeah,
No,
that was kind of like no, like no, homeboy.
I don't
Like,
care
no.
how disappointing black men are to me. I love me some chocolate covered disappointment.
I love I love black men too, but I don't mind going outside the box. I don't mind going outside the
I
box.
know
Like
you don't, girl.
I'm fine with that. But unfortunately, but date like, and this is for the black women that chose to date, white men or outside your race. don't down a brother because you choose to date, because I never do that. I just say I want to try something different. But really, all men, it don't matter what race they are, they're men. It's a man. So you're not gonna get, you might get it in different languages with how they present themselves, but you're getting a man. A man is gonna be a man regardless of what color he is. So, I'm just not one of those people to say, oh, I'm done with black men. No, I just want to date outside my race. Like, I don't mind it. Like,
That's the
I'm okay
same
with
for
that.
women. Women, we
Right.
all complain about the same things, complain about the same things. It's just labeled very aggressive and nagging when we do it. And I want black men, black people in general, to stop that whole aggressive thing, because we didn't give ourselves that title. We
We
That's a
didn't.
systematic thing. Like, that's not us. We need to stop labeling ourselves aggressive and angry and we're complaining. And yeah, no, just because I tell you what's on my mind doesn't mean that I'm being aggressive. It doesn't mean that
Hmm.
I'm complaining because I disagree with something that you're saying. It's not an argument, it's not a debate. Just people need to brush up on their communication skills, I think.
and that's and
Comprehension
that's what
skills.
and that's what men lack is communication. Like, when you're dating, like, I get it, life happens, especially if you're a single father and you're dating. We get that because we're single mothers and dating. So it's kind of like, it's communication that that I think that men don't have. It's like your communication, like if you're running late, if you can't make it. I understand, like, I have kids, I understand, like, you can't make things, shit happens, it's life. We know, but communicate. And that's all that I ask. Like, just communicate with me.
The
You
biggest
know, it's,
thing that we can take away from this is, like, stop expecting you from people. So just because we communicate different and just because we do things differently, that doesn't make me a bad person because I don't respond the way that you respond. It doesn't make you a bad person or a deadbeat because you don't mother the way that I would mother, because you're not a mother, you're a father, right? So it's like
right.
we got to stop expecting us and other people.
And that's what I had to, I had to understand that, especially when you're dating, because people date differently. And then what someone expected out of the relationship that you was with, that you were like previously in, you're not going to get that same person. You're going to get a different person. When I say you're going to get a different person, like, it depends on the person that you're dating. So I think that's why one thing I don't, if somebody asks me about somebody, I try not to say anything, because I don't know how that person is going to be with you. I don't know how he was in his last relationship, because everybody is going to get somebody different. Everybody get different people to bring out different things in them. Even for myself, what can I take away from my last relationship that I felt like I didn't do more of, or what I could have been doing more of? And I'm going to take it into this relationship. Or what can I learn from just what people said about me or said to me when it comes to me as dating me as a person. Like, what can I fix? If it's something that I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're talking about. But if I don't see that, I'm not going to change anything, because people always be like, why? And I hate this when somebody meets you, and this is the thing that I won't even talk to them no more. They say, "Oh, you're too pretty to be single," or "Are you crazy?" I'm not talking to them. I'm not doing that, because why would you say that? That's not even a pickup line. That's some bullshit. No, I'm single because it's a choice, because I want to be single. Stop coming to me asking me that. You know, I can be married tomorrow if I wanted to. I can be in a relationship tomorrow if I wanted to. But stop asking me that. It's fine. Like, I just don't even talk to him no more.
I want to touch on what you said when you said when someone comes to you and they ask you about somebody else and you're like, you might get a different version of them. Everybody is different. Different people bring out different things in you. I am taking a psychology class and I didn't even realize that the way our brain is made up, like, do you know that trauma can actually change your personality? Like, it's a
I can see
scientific
that.
fact that your
I
neurotransmitters
can
are
see
like,
that.
yeah, it's they're rewired. So when people say, like, if I was in my right mind, I would have never done that, that's an actual thing. So if you go through something very traumatic, then however you respond or react to that, or however you heal from that, you're not your normal self. So it's a very it's a very good observation that like different people bring out different things in you because you literally change as a person. Your personality literally changes. And yeah, like you don't get the same person. Like me, the me today, somebody who knew me 4 years ago would come back and be like, oh, she fake. This is not even her. No, it's me. You just don't know me today. So, I mean, I'm literally a changed person because I've gone through trauma. And every time you go through trauma, you become literally a
You
different
change.
person. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think with me, when it comes to, I think I've always been the same person, but I am more of like, fuck no. Like I always been the person like, okay, I will, but now it's kind of like, fuck no. Like no, I'm gonna tell you no. Like I don't want to. I don't have to explain myself to you. It's just no. Like, and I think with me, that's where I changed that because I've always been the person like, yes, yes, yes. I'll say yes, but it also boundaries. Like I'm not gonna say I'll do it and I don't want to. When I don't, like I don't want to. Like if I'm saying yes, then I want to. But if I tell you no, then respect that. And it's fucking no. That's what it is. But I used to be that yes, yes, yes person. But now it's like boundaries. Like when people ask like, do you want to hang out this weekend? Like they no. Why? I told you no. And that's what I mean. I'm just no.
No
I don't
means
want to.
no.
Right. I said no. I don't. When you say no to somebody, we don't have to give you an explanation why we said no. Just
No is a
no. Just
sentence.
right. Just accept it and move on. Like and I'm sure you get people in your DMs, and I get them, and then it's like they'll send a message, and then if I don't, I'll look at it. So if I don't, I'm telling you now, if you send me a DM and I look at it and don't respond, it means I'm not interested. So quit sending me stuff. So I'm telling you that now because
I
they'll keep
hate
on
it.
sending them.
It's traumatic for me because like I'll make a post and then somebody will comment on it. And if I respond to their comment on there, then they'll
They take
heart
the
my
message.
response and jump in my DM. I'm like, come on, man. Like, keep this public. What are we doing?
You've got my inbox jumping too because if I say something on your post and then I'll get a message and then I'll go and look. I'm like, I said something on Ty's post, so that's where I'm getting these
Girl,
people
that man's
from.
so
I have
toxic.
a I have a lot of friend requests, and who I see be mutual friends with you.
Save them
I'm like,
all.
I'm gonna go ahead and accept them. I said I'm gonna go ahead and accept them, but you have to know. And and me, I think I'm cute. Like can't nobody tell me I'm ugly.
As
That's
you
just what it
should.
is. But
Yeah.
if you come in somebody's inbox, look like something. Like don't be,
Boy, if
don't
you
you
don't
know?
get dressed before you come knocking on my inbox door,
Right? Like no, like when I go through their pictures, it's kind of like, are you kidding me? Like what? And I say, look at me and look at you. Do you honestly think that
no.
the women that you've dated in the past? Do you think that I'm gonna talk to you? Like I'm sorry. Like you
I
gotta
have
look like
literally
something.
asked the dude because and I was just being mean because he would not get out of my inbox. When did I lose a key on my? Oh, anyway, I was like, look at you. Would you date you? And
Yeah. Like for
that's
real.
only
Like you
I
gotta
was
say
being a
that
mean girl.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
because
I've been called a mean girl too, so but that's
that's
okay.
okay. In your inbox, it's like y'all can sit in there and talk to yourself at this point. Like,
Right, because they'll send them back to back. Like, then they want to cuss at you like fat bitch or okay, that I'll be whatever you want me to be, homie. That's fine. And even for the women, like one woman, she asked me, was I messing with her husband? And I was like, who's your husband? For one, like, come on. And she told me I went to his Facebook page. I sent her a message back. I said, look at me and look at your husband. Do you honestly think that I'm talking to your husband? Her reply, is it that bad? I said, yeah. I started to say, look at you. Look at you and look at me. Do you come on now? But don't tell me, don't come for me, please. Do not.
girl,
Because
baby, that's a
I'm
whole
letting
nother
you know
episode.
your husband is ugly as fuck, and I'm blocking you. Because you should have never came to me. You gonna pick the cutest girl on his friends list and ask me, am I talking to your husband? Get real, girl. Come on. And then you gonna
We'll
ask me,
have
is it
to
that bad? Did
we'll
you
have
have
to
to
put
ask me
together
that?
a whole episode, the audacity of you coming to me woman to woman.
To my right, and then and we need to come up with one people in our inbox because there's so many people, and I'm like, you're married, you're in a relationship, like come on. It's only one guy that I seen that was on a dating app. He's not on a dating app anymore, and it's only one guy that I've seen that has been faithful to this one woman, and kudos to them. But everybody else,
You're gonna have to tell me
mm-mm.
when we stop recording. I wanna know.
Okay, because everybody else, they men be on the dating app, and I be seeing them. So
Oh do.
don't ask me who your man is, because you know if your man is cheating or not.
If
You
you
don't,
gotta ask, then you already know that it's a
and then
yes.
you already know, right?
We got way off topic. We got one more thing
We
before we
did.
end this, right? So, how soon are you introducing your kids to someone that you are dating with intention?
Okay, so good question. So I had a cousin. She said something about Steve Harvey, and I'm gonna quote if I'm right, because to me, I think let's say you wait 6 months, right, to introduce you to your kids, and what if like a week later y'all not together no more? And then she said, so I don't see if you're vibing, I don't see like, hey, I'm gonna say 2 months, and you're like, okay, this is him. So I think really it doesn't matter. I think just when you feel like if this is good, then it's good. Because it don't matter, like to me, I don't have a time limit, just if I like you, if I feel like you're worthy enough to meet my kids. Recently, so my kid haven't even met anyone because yeah, they haven't even met they haven't even met nobody. Yeah, they haven't met anybody. And it's been like maybe almost a year that they haven't met anyone. Yeah, it's been almost a year. It's been almost a year because I didn't feel secure enough in that to let you meet my kids.
Yeah,
Like, so yeah, I haven't, but I haven't been. And when I say dating, like you're dating, like I haven't been in a relationship for 5 years, but I was dating. So even the little thing that I had for 3 months, it wasn't like I was in a relationship. So he knows that. That's just what it is. But we dated, so I didn't feel like we were in a relationship. So he don't that don't count. I'm sorry. I didn't feel like I was in a relationship. So I've
it
been
don't
single
count if you
for
don't feel like
five
you're in a
years.
relationship.
Right. And then we didn't do anything. We didn't go out. So I didn't feel like I was in a relationship. So, and it's unfortunate that it didn't work out how I wanted it to work out. And, it is what it is. So I've been
I
single for
did.
5 years, you know? What about you?
So before I say my answer, I'm gonna go into like a very quick story time.
Hmm.
So you know who he is, the last dude that I was talking to. Before you know,
Hmm.
um, so he wanted to take me out on a date, and
Hmm.
I let him pick me up from the house. We went out. He brought me back. He walked me to my door. We were hugging, kissing, saying our goodbyes, and then one of my kids opened the door and was like, "Harpo, who this man?" So that's how the kids ended up meeting him. It was purely by accident. But then I was stuck in a very weird situation. Just like you said, it was one of those, well, my kids didn't see me with this man all kissy face with him. I don't want to just be like, oh, he ain't nobody. So I tried to stick it out and make it be something that I knew he
Hmm.
was going to end up being because I ain't like him like that for real. But that's kind of how that happened. Had they not accidentally seen him and me hugging and kissing, I would not have kept dating him because, as you know, I wasn't really that interested in him.
Mm-mm. Oh, these were our summer flings.
Yeah, and he
We
don't
call them our summer flings.
because don't nobody even
It
you the
doesn't
only
count.
person who know who he is. So
Right.
he don't count.
Yeah, so it's like a summer fling. It was our
Yeah,
summer fling. We were trying to figure things out with these people, and
so,
unfortunately,
yeah,
unfortunately, it didn't work out. And that's
it
what
was like a menstrual cycle. That was it.
well, that's not nice.
So I changed my
I'm
pad
sorry.
and went on to the next.
Oh
Anyway,
my god.
Shit, I am a horrible person. I'm gonna work on that. Not today, one day.
Well, I mean, I like this person, but I'm
Thank
scared of this
you.
person. So yeah.
It took me a long time to be mean because I was also a people pleaser too. So I'm proud of myself.
Oh yeah, I've been called a mean girl, but like, whatever.
Wear it
It
with a
is what it
badge.
is.
I worked
I'm not a
hard to be a
mean
mean
girl.
girl. No, I'm
Yeah,
such
and
a
I'm not
real
a mean
girl.
girl. I love who love me, and I respect who respect me. I'm a Gemini, so I'm gonna give off the vibes that you give me. So, but I just do mine. I could just be a little more meaner than the average person.
Well, that's the
I'm just
thing.
gonna go low, but it
And
is
I'm a
what it is.
Scorpio, so it's like if you hurt me, sting you, bitch. It's just how that works. But you caused it because Scorpios are such lovable people. Like we don't cause the bullshit. If you didn't know that,
Okay.
you learned something new
So as we wrap up, I see
as we
that we
wrap.
have a self-care share.
Yeah.
And it says share something you're doing for yourself this week outside of motherhood and dating. So what about you? What are you doing?
I have taken a liking to Hillman Talk University. I am a full-time student. I have five classes. And the reason why I bring that up is because the classes that I take are all personal development classes. I don't take like classes so that I can have a better job or classes so that I can just put some extra shit on my resume. I take
Hmm.
classes like emotional intelligence and psychology and financial literacy because it makes me just a better person and it makes me do things differently. It's teaching me to be very empathetic to people in situations. Even though I felt like I was empathetic before, I feel even more empathetic now because I understand like all of the stuff behind it. And to me, that's self care because I'm pouring into myself. I don't give anybody that time. That's me. Knowledge is power.
Hmm.
Can't nobody tell me nothing. I am improving in my mental health and, my physical health. I'm on this beautiful diet. So
Hmm.
I just, if I cry, I want it to be a cleansing cry. I don't want it to be I'm sad or whatever type of cry. So I'm pouring into people. I'm only spewing out positivity and I'm showing up more intentional. So that's self care, even though um, a lot of the things that I said, well, not a lot, a couple of the things that I said was how I show up for others. It still does a lot for me because back in the day, like I could care less about somebody's feelings. And then today, I'm more intentional about how I handle people. So any kind of growth for me is self care.
Okay.
That's what I'm
And
doing.
I think with me, oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I'm done.
Okay. And I think with me, I've been doing my Audible book. So I'm reading a book and it has six books to it. I'm on the third book. So now what I do is I put my phone on do not disturb and I listen to my book because to me that's you know it's something that I want to do and it's something that I don't have the TV on, just no noise and I'm listening to my book. And to me that's self-care to me, or it's
Definitely
my
is.
my moments, so I do that. And I think it's just taking a moment for myself, even 5 minutes, and like whew, you know and the other day I think I haven't really cried in a long time, and the other day I needed that moment to just cry. And I've been praying a lot because I'm like, what direction do you want me to go in? Just like I'm asking him to lead me and where he needs me to be, where he wants me to be. So with that, I have to be clear because I have to be able to understand him. And because when people they do they talking to God or they meditate, it comes in different forms.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a clear mind, I can get my answer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been trying to do is be clear minded and just focus on myself. So if I feel that it's worth making a move on something, then I'll do it because he gives me that okay. So I've been more in touch with more on a spiritual journey with myself and knowing what I want and what I need because I deserve nothing less. because I'm not going to settle for nothing less than I deserve. So that's what I've been on.
So before we leave, I want to leave you with something. If nobody has told you, and Monique, I'm talking to you.
Yes, ma'am.
If nobody has told you lately, you are an amazing woman. You are an amazing mother. You have done so many great things for a lot of people. You are very nurturing. You show up for people even when they don't show up for you. And I want you to be proud of yourself and give yourself grace because you deserve it. Don't beat yourself
Thank
up
you.
because you are amazing just the way you are. Don't change for nobody. You are amazing just the way you are.
Thank you. You know what? And sometimes like you need that. Like I don't, I try to be there for everybody, and I try to be understanding, and you know, in with you, we've been friends for what, 2 years now, and like we've had so much, we've just within those 2 years, we've gotten to know each other, and we've gotten to know we've the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think we've covered that.
We've had some
And
times.
right. And you know what? But it only makes it stronger. Yeah, we don't agree with everything, and that's fine. We're not supposed to, because if we agreed on everything, then I think one of us is being fake. Um, but I love your personality. Even though sometimes you a little quiet, but once you
Am
get
I
there,
me?
you're there. Yeah, sometimes.
Quiet?
Yeah, sometimes. Like when we're together, like the Ty that you see on social media is really social media, because she's really sweet,
I tell
genuine,
people that
and
all the
down to
time.
earth. Yeah, because some people don't take that, and they just think that that's what they're getting. No, you're getting a sweet person, you're getting a friend, someone that's genuine. You're getting that. So it's not what you see on social media. And social media is social media, So I think that, and that's why we chose to do this, because we're just two women, single mothers, and just figuring it out along the journey. That's it.
All I got is wine and Jesus, baby.
Oh, I got wine and Jesus and cookies. So that's what I was eating. Everybody, y'all probably see me eating here and there. That's just, I love cookies, and my kids got me crumble cookies. So
Oh
it's
God.
Kardashian week for the crumble. I don't know if you see it. And then also our shirts,
Shout out to
Audacity
Carrie
of Us.
Randall for making the shirts. Oh, it keep blurring
So
us
yeah.
out. The Audacity of Us
Mhm.
shirts. Perry Randall, he is in charge of MTM Fashions. Look him up on Facebook. He will get you right. The quality is right. The ETA will be
Very
right around the corner.
professional.
Like
He's
yeah,
professional, friendly, and yeah, he'll
very
assist
friendly.
you. So, do you want to share with them on our next episode, or we're going to keep it a secret,
So
or what?
yes,
What you want to share?
we are going to be talking about the audacity of bringing your dates around your friends. So stick around. We'll have some interesting things to say about that.
Yeah. So, have a
Thanks
good
for tuning in
day,
with us.
and thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye, y'all.